Hello, Yugiverse. This is the DMOC from Team Dark Illusions coming at you with our deck profile of the week. And before I get into that, I'd like to say a special thanks to Brain Freeze Laser for doing our team's intro. I will put a link somewhere up here in an annotation to his channel. Please go check him out. He's a cool guy. And yeah, so to the deck profile of the week that I'm doing today is the Blue Eyes Maiden deck. Now this is my take on it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Check out what we have coming out. This is our first official video. If you would leave me a comment down below as to what you think of my version of the Blue Eyes Maiden deck. So for starting off, for monsters, 3 copies of Blue Eyes Maiden. She is like our own walking battle fader, Forbidden Lance, Monster Reborn. Whenever she's targeted, special summon Blue Eyes from hand, deck, or graveyard. And we have 3 copies of the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Some people run it at 2. I like it at 3 just because Blue Eyes is one of my favorite cards. Just two White Stone of Legends. I find 3 too cloggy, and you'll see why when I get to the spells. Also run 2 Effect Veilers. Like I said, this is more of a Sychro build, not the Xyz build, so that's why I've got those in there. Plus, it's Effect Veiler for good hand traps. 2 copies of Junk Synchron. I utilized this to go into Quasar and other various Sychro plays. And 2 Doppel Warriors, which you're going to need those to go into your Sychro plays as well. As for the Tech-10 choices, I've got 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, since that's all we're allowed to have. If we were allowed 2 or more, I'd be running 2 or more. This lets you bring back dragons from the hand or graveyard. It's a good card. 1 Photon Thrasher. It's also searchable from Rhoda, and it also helps out with the Sychro plays, plus it's a 2100 attacker. Rise Bell, which is part of the OTK with Blue Eyes Maiden, which I will go over later. And 1 Dandelion. Again, like I said, this is the Sychro version, so that's what I'm using. Okay, for spells, we have a 1-for-1. Self-explanatory pretty much. You send 1 monster, get out either Maiden or Effect Veiler or your White Stone. Emergency Teleport is for the Rise Bell OTK, and 1 Rhoda. For draw power, I've got 2 Wonder Wands, target Maiden, summon Blue Eyes, and then either Sychro or draw 2. Just 1 Cards of Constant, since I'm only running the 2 White Stone of Legends. There has to be a Dragon Tuner of 1000 attack or less, so that's why that's in there. Running 3 copies of Dark World Dealings. I know, odd choice for this deck, but it actually really works. It allows you to get either like Doppel Engrave, Dandy Engrave. It really helps out with the speed and consistency of the deck. I prefer this over Upstarts. That way you don't give them the extra 1000 life points. Plus you also get 3 cards out of their deck and hand sooner. Just 2 copies of Trade-In for the 3 Blue Eyes. I may drop that down to 1, but right now 2 seems to be working alright. With no Monster Reborn, you got 2 copies of Silent Doom. That way you can get your Blue Eyes back from the graveyard to go into either Xyz or Sychro plays. 3 copies of MST to take care of problematic back row. And 1 copy of Scapegoat. It's in there for defensive measures as well as Sychro options. So that does it for the spells. Now for the traps, very few. 2 D Prisons, 1 Bottomless, 2 Mirror Force. That takes care of all the defensive measures for the deck. And now for the extra deck. So, since this is a Sychro Quasar build, you got to have the 1 copy of Formula Synchron, the 1 copy of Hyper Librarian, and the 1 copy of Cataster. Draw power allows you to Sychro even during your opponent's turn, and takes out any non-dark monster. Ancient Sacred Wyvern, that's part of the OTK, which I'll show here in just a second. Gains life points as long as yours is higher than your opponent's. loses attack points while your opponent's life points is higher than yours. Up and downside, but it's, like I said, it's part of an OTK. 1 Scrap Dragon, take care of problematic cards. Crimson Blader, if you're playing a deck that likes to special summon a lot of high level monsters. Stardust Spark Dragon. I actually like this over Stardust right now. I may take out something like Scrap Dragon and put Stardust in as well, but Spark Dragon protects during either player's turn, so that way you can still protect your Red Eyes from one turn and then bring back Stardust with Red Eyes effect and then keep on going. Red Dragon Archfiend, 3000 attacker, takes care of all defense position cards. 1 Azure Eyes Silver Dragon. This is actually a lot better card than people give it credit for. When this card is Sychro summoned, all your dragons are protected for 1 full turn from being destroyed by battle or card effects, I believe. No, just by card effects. They cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. So if you bring out this and a couple others, you're pretty much set, simply because they can't be targeted, they're not going to be affected by Dark Hole, you can attack, they can activate Mirror Force, Deprison, everything's protected. But I only run it at 1, plus it's also a 3000 defender. 1 Star Eater, Junk Synchron plus Blue Eyes equals Star Eater. Summon can't be negated, can't activate any of your traps when they attack with it, so you just sit there and swing with Star Eater, nothing they can do about it. 1 Shooting Star Dragon, and that's in there because of the Quasar as well, and also can get it with Stardust, which, like I said, I'll probably put in at some point. Red Nova Dragon. This one is also probably an interesting choice that a lot of people are going to be questioning, like, why are you running Red Nova Dragon? Okay, it's 3500 attacker. When it cannot be destroyed by card effects, but from spells, traps, or monsters. Plus, it can negate attacks. So if you have this out and a weaker monster, you can use this to protect your weaker monster, and it gains 500 for every tuner in the graveyard. So that's another reason why I'm running heavy tuners in this, because of that card right there. And finally, for the Synchros, Shooting Quasar Dragon. 4000 attacker, gets to negate 1 thing per turn. Pretty self-explanatory why it's in there. As far as the Xyz in the deck, 1 Divine Dragon Felgran, which pretty much is a Walking Forbidden Lance and 2800 attacker. And finally, Thunder End Dragon to nuke the field of monsters. Alright, so that is my version and take on the Blue Eyes White Dragon Sychro deck. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to go check out Brain Freeze Laser's channel. Leave a comment down below how you think I did. And this is the DMOC from Team Dark Illusions, signing out.